Oh no. Oh no. There we
Wow.
go.
Oh,
Listen.
Rob's ready to go right away.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Rob?
You guys are really tricked this place out since the last time I was here. We got an intro. Bruce got a big desk. Oh man.
Oh, well, I mean,
yeah.
it's a foldable table, but
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it.
That's true.
Yes, we have gotten much fancier, no less chaotic or rude or unprofessional. So that's why we appreciate having you, Rob, here, because you class up the joint, as Bruce would say.
100%.
Appreciate that.
So, Rob, we don't want to waste your time, man. So we're gonna jump right into this. Joining us live right now, guys, Rob Schaefer from NBC Sports Chicago Bulls beat guy, phenomenal person, great writer, great all around dude with amazing flow. By the way, I'm very jealous of that hair.
I'm having a good day. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where this came from today, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. So let's jump right in, man. So how exciting is it for you now to be covering a Chicago Bulls team off to such a hot start, 8-3?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the job is not too much different in the process and kind of the professionalism aspect and all that type of stuff. Like I loved, I've loved every season I've been on the beat so far. This is my third one, but you can't deny the impact and kind of the fun it adds when the basketball is good, like when you're not looking forlornly at kind of the scoreboard for the night and seeing all the other great games that are going on, and the Bulls are just never seem to be a part of one. Now every game they play is competitive. They're beating good teams. They're playing a pretty aesthetically pleasing brand of basketball, and it's not in a moral victory type of way. Like they're actually, 5 games over 500, off to, every win they rack up seems to be their best start since X year. That was, this however many decades ago. So it's been great. I mean, it's been a good start. Everybody on the team seems to be pretty locked in. All the guys are super media friendly. It's been good to get to know guys because it's a totally new roster, and everything's back in person now. But yeah, I mean, it's been good. It's been good so far. No complaints at all, and we'll see how much they're able to sustain.
No, that's awesome. So what's been so there's a few things, and the obvious question that I heard across the board today in Chicago radio. MJ, you didn't hear about any of this, but what have been the surprises to you covering this team every day? Has it been the chemistry? Has been the fact that you had DeRozan and Levine matching Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen for the longest streak with 20 plus points in a row with 7 games? Has it been Vooch not being as consistent, which, by the way, he's in the COVID protocol now. But him and his inconsistencies, their defense. What's been the most surprising thing that you can pull away so far from the season?
Yeah, you just listed a bunch of good ones. Vooch struggling to this degree, putting the COVID thing aside, struggling to this degree has been a pretty big surprise. I mean, I knew there was going to be an adjustment period, but for him to be shooting as poorly as he is, it's just very un-Vooch-like. Mm-hmm. So that's been up there in terms of surprises. But I think the biggest one for me has been the defense. There were a couple projections that had, from people that had them kind of in the bottom 5 of the league, like that they were going to be so undersized that I always bought that they were going to be average to slightly above average because Billy Donovan has a track record of being a great defensive coach at the NBA level. They really upgraded their perimeter talent defensively, like Lonzo, Caruso. People are blown away by them defensively. And, certainly maybe they've been better than advertised because they've just been so fantastic. But those guys come in with great reputations as perimeter defenders, as point of attack defenders. That's something the Bulls didn't really have at a high level last season. Right. So for them to, have this, they're undersized, but to have this style of defense where they're flying all over the place, creating deflections and turnovers and, compensating for a lack of size with a little bit more athleticism and speed than most teams. The fact that that's translated to a top 6 defense so far and that they've held teams like Utah and Brooklyn to under 100 points. Like, I know offense is down across the league, but for them to be this good defensively to the point that I think they're a better defensive team than an offensive team by kind of a significant margin. I mean, the offense will come along as the season goes along, but through the first 11 games, I think it's no question that their best moments have been when the defense has been fueling them. That has been a big surprise for me because I expected this team to, have mid-40s, top 6 seed type of win success. But I thought it was going to come, mostly derived from the offensive side of the ball. There have been moments. I mean, DeRozan has been playing out of his mind. Zach, even with the thumb, has been pretty productive. Like, The offense has had flashes, but it's really been the defense that's been carrying them. And well, I thought they would survive on that end more than maybe some did. I didn't expect top 5-6 defensive rating. And you can't even say that it's been against a cupcake schedule because they've seen Luka and the Mavericks. They've seen Utah. They've seen Brooklyn. They've seen Boston. Like, they've seen quality opponents, and the style that they're playing has sustained against them. So, yeah, certainly a pleasant surprise, but I think that would be the biggest surprise for me so far.
So, Rob, we love calling out old takes on this show.
Oh, here we go.
I'm calling both Bruce and I out on this.
Okay.
A long time ago, Bruce called Lonzo Ball coming to Chicago. When he said that, I got up out of my chair and walked out of the room because I thought it was a terrible idea.
Let me
I've been proven wrong.
The victory beer right there.
Listen, Bruce was right. I was wrong. Not many times I'm going to say that in the history of this show. So, Rob, what has Lonzo Ball brought to this team? You talked about the defense. There have been a lot of Showtime highlights so far, and Lonzo Ball is at the center of a lot of them. Yeah. So just what does he bring to this team across the board?
Defensively, at the point of screens, he's been phenomenal. You could throw him at an opponent's best guard or kind of wing player, and he'll hold up, if not excel. I think that's been a big part of it. You mentioned kind of the Showtime, the highlight plays. He's definitely – I still don't think they're playing as fast. I don't think they're as prolific of a transition team as Billy Donovan wants them to be yet. But you see those moments when they are running off of steals or, Lonzo, something gets underrated about him. He's a terrific rebounding guard because of his size. Like when he can rebound and go, he has kind of infused this selflessness, this constantly pushing and putting pressure on opponents in transition. Those little elements of his game and his psyche seem to be, spreading throughout the team, which I think is a good thing. So that has helped offensively. But the biggest thing offensively, I mean, he's shooting out of his mind from three. I mean, he was 7 of 10 last night in the Dallas game. He's up to 45% on the season. Not only, I mean, he became a good catch and shoot 3-point shooter a couple seasons ago in New Orleans. So that's, people act like it's still a new thing. It's not really a new thing. I mean, he was up at 38, 39% last year on 8 attempts a game. Like, that's outstanding. But it's mostly catch and shoots. This year, he's even taken some off the dribble. And he entered last night 8 of 16 on pull-up threes, three-pointers off the dribble, and he hit a couple more last night. So he's hitting over half of his three-pointers off the dribble. I mean, that's just an outstanding evolution for him. Obviously, a testament to his work ethic. And, he's a guy that's always been phenomenal when, there's chaos involved offensively, when there's kind of a lot of free-flowing transition play, stuff like that. But his improved jumper has made him a pretty lethal weapon in the half court, too, whether he's running pick and roll or he's playing off of guys like Zach or DeMar or Vooch. They gave him a big contract in the offseason. I'm sure some people questioned it. I thought it was pretty good value when it happened. They gave up virtually nothing in the sign-in trade to get him, a second-round pick, Tomas Satoransky, Garrett Temple. Those are solid vets, but for where the Bulls want to go, like a guy like Lonzo Ball is obviously going to help you astronomically more. And to me, he's lived up to it, in every way you can. The stats, he's never going to be a guy that's going to wow you, other than kind of a sporadic night where he gets hot from three, but the subtle things, the extra passes, the defensive mentality that he's brought and the way that he's kind of taken on tough assignments on the defensive end. I think he's done just a tremendous amount for this team. And another underrated part of it is the Bulls, ever since Derek left, have just not had, above average point guard play. It's such a huge part of the league today. Sure. And it's been, Kobe White last year was rocky. It's been Chris Dunn. It's been Ryan Arcidiacono. It's like, it's no shot at those guys, but like, Lonzo Ball is a, high-level playmaker, a high-level defensive player, and a high-level shooter. And he's, not a perfect player, but you could see just all the things that he does well are really bringing a lot out of the Bulls. So I love that addition to the moment. It's played out even better than I thought it would because he's, frankly, just, just a much better defensive player than even I thought he was. And I thought he was good, but he's legitimately awesome, like legitimately outstanding on the defensive end. So, yeah, he's been – absolutely unbelievable. Perfect backcourt mate for Zach LaVine. I think they nailed that transaction.
No, I agree. So you already mentioned his name earlier, Kobe White. Glad to hear he's getting healthy. Glad to hear he's getting around and starting to play a little 5-on-5 action, practicing with Hoffman a little bit. But that being said, with the awesome play that Ayo has had, how much is that going to affect Ayo's playing time when Kobe White comes back, if at all? with how hot
Yep.
he is.
Yeah, we'll see. Kobe's close. It seems like getting him back on the West Coast trip, which goes through next Friday, it seems like it's a legitimate possibility that he could be back by then. Io, another guy, like from Summer League to now, I just think he looks like a totally different player. He's developed. I mean, for him to develop as much as he has in the first 2 or 3 months of his NBA career, it's such a testament to him. I think he's been awesome, especially defensively. In terms of how Kobe's going to affect him, Billy actually addressed this yesterday, saying that when Kobe first gets back, he's going to probably expand the rotation to 10. They're running 9 right now, and keep Kobe and Io both in the fold, partially to, so he doesn't have to start Kobe on his full minutes allotment immediately. He can kind of ease him back in if there's kind of rhythm issues, conditioning. He's been rehabbing for the last 5 months, so there's going to be an adjustment period. So I think there'll be a little interim where they're both playing, and maybe Io's minutes are a little bit less, and Kobe's eating into them as opposed to just taking all of them. And Billy's a guy. I mean, he's really not afraid to sit somebody down. He's not afraid to kind of ride his feel of how he feels like a matchup is playing out. How much of a hot hand he feels like a guy has. So I think he'll evaluate kind of how each of the two of them look and how each of the two of them are producing. And then after that kind of week or two interim period, make a decision from there. My guess, just because this team really, really badly needs, above average 3-point shooting, a good volume. Kobe White, if nothing else, will give you that. And the bench scoring, DeRozan does a pretty good job anchoring those lineups, but while they're a pretty good defensive group with Io and Derek Jones Jr. and Tony Bradley and Javonte Green, when he's out there with those guys, like those are all great defensive players. There's not much scoring. There's not much shooting with those guys. So I think Kobe is pretty badly needed. And once he gets his feet under him, I think he's going to take a large portion of Io's role, if not all of it, on a regular basis. But that doesn't mean that Io is gone completely, because Billy clearly loves him. I mean, like for him to be a second-round pick and to have climbed the trust tree as much as he has already to this point, I don't think that, if there are games where he does have DNPs or he is only playing 5 minutes, I don't think that means he's gone forever. But Billy is such a, let's play to a specific matchup on a nightly basis guy that I think it'll be in flux a little bit. Obviously, Kobe just having more experience and having more of a proven NBA skill set as a shooter, I think that's going to help them a lot. So I'm kind of in wait and see mode on that, but I do think for the first week or two, when Kobe gets back, you'll see them both out there, and I think that's Billy's time to kind of look at it and say, all right, which one of these guys is actually helping us win more right now? And then he'll, kind of make the dovetailing decisions from there.
Okay.
So, Rob, the matchup Bruce and I are very interested in is Golden State Warriors versus Bulls tomorrow. Golden State Warriors have not looked this good since before the myriad of injuries hit them, before KD left. So before I get too excited about the Golden State Warriors, just give me from the Bulls perspective, what does that matchup look like? Vooch is out for the Bulls. Draymond Green probably won't be playing for Golden State, at least the way it looks right now. If he does, he won't be 100% on Friday. So what does that matchup look like for Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, as much as I've just touted Lonzo and Caruso as the great kind of guard and perimeter defenders they are, even with those guys, when you're throwing them at a guy like Steph Curry, you're just praying. I mean, that's what Billy even kind of admitted that after the Luka matchup, where they actually did I thought a pretty good job of slowing Luka down, forcing him into tough shots.
Yep.
He had 20 points on 6-18 shooting, 10 assists. Like, still a pretty good stat line for anybody else, but that's as good as you could hope to do on Luka. And Billy said after the game, I asked him about it, he said, he basically led with, I mean, Luka's, we were kind of at his mercy in terms of if he was going to make shots or not, and he just missed shots. So we're cool with that. So I think, disrupting Steph as much as they possibly can. What the Bulls do have in Caruso and Javonte are guys that can get through screens, and, hopefully you could divvy up responsibilities chasing them around off ball. Caruso and Lonzo are obviously pretty good on-ball defenders. So, I think they're reasonably equipped as much as any NBA team can be. Nobody is, but as much as anybody can be. So there will be that aspect of it. The Vooch absence is going to be massive, I think, for the next 5 games. But a matchup like Golden State, and maybe you could even provide more insight on this, but it does feel like a matchup where the Bulls can afford to go a little bit small with Alize Johnson and Derek Jones Jr. in the front court a little bit more. And it's not going to totally kill them like it will against the Lakers or against the Nuggets with Jokic later in the trip. So, I mean, without Vooch, though, and he looked like he was just starting to get his feet under him, you're probably looking for a night where you're getting 25 to 30 each from DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and, forcing a a bunch of turnovers on the other end, and you hope that you could slow down Steph as much as humanly possible. But like I was saying earlier, this Bulls team is kind of a grinded out defensive team. So I think we'll know pretty early what the tone of this game is going to be. Without Vooch, and the Warriors are the best team in the league right now, regardless, on the road, I'm probably not expecting them to win this game coming in. They've obviously surprised me already a bunch of times this season, so we'll see. But, it'll be a good first test for them without Vooch. I think they match up fine, reasonably well enough, and we'll see what happens. But what's the Warriors' end of this? I mean, I know that there's talk, the schedule is soft, this and that. Like, what's the lowdown on them in terms of this matchup?
Honestly, they've been playing really good defensive basketball. So if I'm going to give a prediction for this game, even with the scores both teams have, I don't think it's going to be a super high scoring game. Because they've got 4 guys averaging a steal and a block a game. So they've got some really good defensive players. Obviously, Draymond Green has been a very big part of that. So if he's not playing tomorrow, that's a different story. But I guess if you take out Vooch, take out Draymond, that's basically just, a draw for both sides. The biggest thing for me, other than defense, has been Jordan Poole averaging 17, 18 a game without Klay Thompson. And then Wiggins averaging 7, 18 without Klay Thompson. So without one of the greatest shooters of all time, they still have 2 other guards, 2 other, guys who can go get buckets, and they don't even have their best shooter and one of their best stoppers. So they're one of the best offenses, one of the best defenses, and they don't have one of their best shooters and one of their best stoppers. So, and Gary Payton, just on a little fun side note, Gary Payton can fly with anyone, and who needs rim running James Wiseman when you have rim running Gary Payton the second? I didn't expect that coming into the year, but legitimately, he's caught as many lobs as anyone in the NBA, and he's just running in transition with Steph. So they're just a fun team to watch right now, which after the last few years, I'll take.
And you're welcome for Otto Porter Jr. too, by the way.
That's
give it another 5 or 10.
Right.
Give it another 5 or 10.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll regret that eventually. But
real quick though, I'm not really that impressed though with the Warriors' schedule and the opponents that they've played at all.
Okay, 10-1
at all. Oh, and they should be.
Okay.
Well, but that's the thing. This is a great test, and the Bulls are a super fun team to watch too. So I think at the very least, it's going to be a super, super entertaining game. One thing, as you're talking about the kind of the Warriors' depth pieces that's sticking out to me too, is something in this matchup is the Bulls. Like, they've had games here and there, like Caruso had 16 the other night, hit 3 threes. It was going crazy. They've had, a 12-point outing from Derrick Jones Jr. Io's gotten loose in transition to get to 14, 15 a couple times. But the bench scoring for the Bulls has been a real inconsistency. They've got guys that can guard on the bench. They've got good defenders. But the Warriors' depth, to me, at least watching them early in the season, has been pretty impressive, from Otto to Bielitsa to, I know Poole's a starter, but like just having guys below the bracket of a Steph Curry that are able to bring it on a nightly basis. The Bulls have had that sporadically. It's a point of emphasis, but it's just not something that is there every night. And it's another thing that hurts about the Vooch the Vooch COVID situation. And going back to the Patrick Williams injury, like, their 9 or 10 man rotation when they're fully healthy gets a little sketchy towards the end. Now, they're down to their 11th or 12th guy when they're fully healthy. It's a little strained. So those kind of end of the first quarter, end of the third quarter minutes when it's a bunch of reserves going at it, I'd have my eye on those moments in terms of if those flip the game too, because the Bulls always seem to have a lull. In every game, they seem to have a lull where they go stagnant offensively and kind of get blown by, like, even in the Mavs game, they were up, I think, 11 in the first quarter, and then midway through the second, we're down by 7 because there was just that interim period between the end of the first and the beginning of the second. Jalen Brunson got cooking. They obviously steadied the ship, but against a team like Golden State, it's not always easy to overcome those types of lulls right there. So I'll be watching the bench matchup pretty closely too.
And to your point, Rob, there have been multiple games in the Warriors' first 11 that they've been more positive in the Curry-less minutes than in the ones with Curry.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of to me from past iterations of this team. So
exactly. So if you have that, that's a version of a Golden State team that I'm scared of. Schedule or not, they're the top of every metric in the NBA, and they're playing just as well, if not better, at some points without the greatest shooter of all time on the floor. That's a team that terrifies me.
I love it.
If I'm
I
anyone,
love
let alone
watching
Chicago.
them. I love watching them, but I don't know, man. It'll be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So we got Rob Schaefer with us from NBC Sports Chicago, Bulls beat guy. We're gonna have him for a couple more questions. So to speak to consistency about their bench, Rob. Right now, the Chicago Bulls defensive rating is top 5 in the NBA.
Yeah.
Can they maintain that?
It's I'm kind of in a spot because we're just now starting to get to the point. I think another 10 games and we'll have enough of a sample size on some of these numbers where I'm like, all right, I can see that sustaining. But I also don't really have a reason to say that it won't because, like we were talking about earlier, it's worked against good teams, this style. And they clearly have an identity that they're playing to on a nightly basis. Again, there's not much – there's a little smoke and mirrors with the size issues, but they do have in Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, like, legitimately top-flight defensive players. Zach has played a lot better on that end this year. I think Vucevic has been better than a lot of people give him credit for this season. That's obviously when he gets back. And Billy Donovan, like he's a defensive-minded coach. That's what he does. That's his kind of bread and butter. So top 5, I mean, it's kind of a bold prediction. I think top 10, I would feel very, very confident in saying that's going to sustain throughout the year. Top 5, things can kind of, churn and kind of, this team could jump over this team. So I don't have a reason to say no, but also 11 games in, I just don't know yet. I think the Bulls are on this West Coast trip right now. By the time Thanksgiving hits, they'll be 18 games in. It's about a quarter mark. That's about the quarter mark of the season. I think at that point, I'll be much more confident saying, all right, this stuff that they're doing is sustainable. This stuff isn't. But the defense is among the things that I would be the most confident in. I think they've been impressive there. So yeah, don't really have a reason to say no. I guess we'll just kind of see what happens.
Fair.
So Rob, outside of Bulls, Warriors, who's impressed you so far in the NBA?
Evan Mobley. I mean, come on, man.
Really?
That Cavs team, I find myself watching them a fair amount. They're dealing with some kind of struggles. Obviously, Larry Markkinen, COVID protocol, et cetera. Sexton with the meniscus. But man, I mean, you hate to relitigate the draft 11 games in, but he just looks like a stud, man. I mean, he looks like a guy that, is going to be all-star caliber, all NBA, all defense caliber, like very soon, like this year or next year soon. So I've been super impressed by him. I've been super unimpressed by the Lakers offseason moves and how those have kind of played out.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook trading, your entire rotation outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis for Russell Westbrook doesn't look like the best decision. Letting Alex Caruso walk and lowballing him to the point that, it's kind of ridiculous based on some of the stuff that he said recently. So yeah, those things. I mean, the Warriors have been awesome. The Wizards, I think, are a great story. I mean, for them to essentially turn the John Wall contract into Harrell, KCP, Kuz, the Denny Avdia pick. I mean, he's looking like a pretty good defensive player. Dinwiddie, that was a great signing. Beal's finding his way. For them to be at the top of the East, that's a pretty cool story. And yeah, I'm just kind of waiting. The East is so bizarre. Like, I'm just kind of waiting for Brooklyn and Milwaukee to wake up a little bit. Obviously, Milwaukee has to get healthy. They're dealing with like being a little bit shorthanded. But I just don't know what to make of this kind of top of the East where it's Chicago, Washington, Miami,
Cavaliers.
like this, the Cavaliers, Knicks, like
right.
All those teams outside the Cavaliers, I expect it to be serviceable to good. But for those teams to be running the show in the East right now, and you've got the Bucks and the Nets like playing catch up, it's just interesting. Weird. It's just interesting. I love parity though. Like I love when stuff is kind of chaotic. It's like this in the West too. Where the traditional powerhouses are the teams that you might have except for Utah, they're like an indestructible regular season team at this point. But yeah, it's just been a really interesting start to the season. I think there's just been a lot of surprises. I'm like waiting for things to go back to normal, and it hasn't yet. So maybe it'll just be a weird, wacky season, and to me, that's the most fun. So not mad at it.
So before we let you go, I got to ask this question to you, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Chicago Bulls are top 5 or just in the playoff hunt as we're coming down towards the trade deadline. Does Arturas go for it and try to get a big guy in the middle to rim protect and just go all in, or do you think they even need to do that?
It's an interesting question. I still don't know if I've seen this team enough and to know exactly what type of player. I mean, obviously they need size. Obviously, power forward is probably their weakest / thinnest position at this point. So you would think they're probably need a little bit more of a sample to just kind of see what exactly they need. And, trade deadline, like the thing about this team and, give the front office credit because all the offseason moves and dating back to the trade deadline last year, like every move they've made has looked pretty solid so far, other than Vooch struggling out of the gate. And we'll see what he looks like when he gets back from COVID. All best to him. They're not working with much in the way of assets right now. So I don't know where the big splash is coming from them. I think they have one tradable first-round pick, for the foreseeable future. Right. In terms of like young players, Patrick Williams, Kobe White, like those are potential trade chips, I guess. But Pat's hurt, and I know at least this offseason, throughout his first season and beginning part of this season, like they really see him as part of the future, and that's kind of a guy that they're going to pass the torch to eventually. This is a pretty serious injury he's dealing with now, so we'll see how he comes back from it. Kobe, I mean, I think this team really needs Kobe, so I don't know, that I would be trading him just to trade him. And for that matter, you got to see what he looks like coming off of his injury.
Right.
So I think they're in a little bit of a weird place to make like a big splash move like they made last deadline when they went after Vucevic, just because they're out a bunch of picks. They're kind of in a tight spot salary wise. Like they're not really in a position to take on too much more salary. I think I'd be focused more on kind of like the rotation guys that, really other than Bagley, there aren't many guys out there that are like openly trying to get moved. So I'd be keeping an eye on kind of the guys that maybe will come a little bit less expensive, but still be like solid, 6th or 7th men kind of forward types. But we'll see. I mean, the trade deadline it's so far away. It's hard to forecast it exactly. I just think, I don't think they have the assets in their chest to bring in another all-star type player or anything like that. Right. But if they can get anybody, like I said, in the kind of a fifth to 7th man in the rotation type of thing, with how precipitously their quality falls off after their 8th or 9th guy, I think that would help them out a lot. So we'll see if they're able to
why do we have to rehash this?
I thought that's where you were going with the take earlier, because this, I mean, and I'll be honest, I mean, that was a bad take in the moment, and
it's even worse now.
I mean, I don't know what you were doing during the playoffs last year, reflecting on that. Just oh my goodness.
Lots of this, my friend. Lots of that.
There you go.
Rob, what we always do, especially early in any season, is we like to be unreasonable. So NBA Finals prediction, go.
Oh no.
Because we know nothing. Like you said, the East is messy. The Warriors are 10-1. Who knows what anything's going to be? So we're going to clip this. We actually have an editor now and a producer.
Yeah, we have an editor now too.
So Rich is going to keep this. He's going to clip it. He's actually going to keep it, and then we'll have people on around playoff time.
I can't see Clay. I can't see Clay come back first.
Nope.
I can't see what he looks like coming off injury.
Nope. He's Clay.
All right. I'm a coward, so I'm gonna go chalk. I'm gonna play it safe. I still like the Bucks coming out of the East. I think a lot of their early season kind of ups and downs can be attributed to the health thing. I think when they're full strength, they're as good, if not a better team than they were last year. They've got the championship confidence. Giannis is at another level, et cetera, et cetera. I still think they come out of the East. Brooklyn, I am a little bit scared of the Brooklyn thing. I don't know what's going on with Kyrie. Harden looks awful. Like I just don't know what's going on there. So I'm gonna go safe with the Bucks. And then out of the West, I think I'll go Utah. I think I'll go Utah. I think this could be the Utah year if the Lakers are banged up all year. Again, it's early. We'll see. The Clippers not having Kawhi. The Nuggets will get Jamal Murray back, but I kind of have to see how that looks. I think maybe Utah could be this year's Bucks. The team that everyone has given up on, the team that everyone's maligned because of the playoff failures, and then they kind of break through and reach the mountaintop. Now, in terms of who wins that, I guess I'll take the Bucks to win it. It doesn't feel right to have to pick the Bucks winning back to back, but that's where I'm at. The caveat, though, man, you're not gonna let me see Clay play first, because I want to pick the Warriors so badly. I want them to have one last run, but I gotta see what Clay looks like before I can.
So if Clay is even 80% of what he was before. What does that do to your prediction?
I think I'm taking the Warriors. I'm there. I like.
He's so happy right now, Rob.
We're so the West is so in flux right now, and obviously LeBron and AD, if they're both healthy at the end of the season, you have to take them seriously. But the Westbrook effect, in a negative way, is just. So I
still don't know why they did that.
So we got someone already challenging you about the East comment. He posted it.
Well, they're not gonna, but that's not gonna happen. Okay. No, they do raise a good point though that Philly has been super impressive even without Simmons and with all the other kind of adversity with the COVID stuff that they're going through. I don't know how the heck they're going to turn Simmons into anything that's going to raise their championship ceiling right now, just where his value's at.
Who wants that drama right now?
That's what I'm saying. But if I don't think it's going to be Jaylen Brown from Boston, but if they were to turn it into something quality for right now, I actually probably did disrespect Philly a little bit. Just that they should be more in the discussion because they've been so impressive early in the season, and Embiid is, right up there with Giannis in terms of the best players in the conference. So if they could turn that Simmons thing into something, I think that's a legitimate choice too.
Or if he would just show up, play, and maybe shoot the basketball once in a while.
And just improve at basketball. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I don't really know what all the details of that situation is. I just know it's a tough situation for the team, and I really like Ben Simmons' game. So I think even the version of him from last year, if he was to come back, and even if he's not shooting like everybody wants him to, I still think he makes them a better team and gets them closer to being a championship caliber team. But it just seems like that ship has sailed. Yeah, it just seems like that ship has sailed.
Lonzo Ball's a better shooter.
Well, yeah, of course Lonzo's a better shooter. Thanks, Bruce.
And give Lonzo credit.
And give Lonzo credit. Lonzo Ball, so.
I mean, yeah.
Rob, your time, as always, much appreciated, sir. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. Also, hey, return a guy's message every once in a while on Twitter. I'd appreciate that. You're gonna have to.
Dude, I'm so sorry. And then MJ, you texted me today, and I'm so much because I don't get Twitter notifications on my phone. If I let them get through to my phone, I would just never be off Twitter.
Right? No, I get it.
It's my bad. It's totally my bad.
You're a lot busier now, so I gotta get you. I'll get you my number so that way.
Yeah. Shoot me a text. I'm like instant responsive to text more.
Yes, he's much better responding to text. That's why I got his phone.
I'll get you my number on through Twitter. So if you could check that.
100%.
But Rob, thank you so much. And keep up the great work. And keep up writing those awesome articles, man. It's always you're a great follow, guys. Follow him, Rob _Schaefer on Twitter. I don't know what his Instagram handle is, but just follow that.
I'm not on Instagram, but yeah, that's for Twitter, NBCSportsChicago.com, Bulls Talk Podcast, all over all that
good stuff. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Always good chatting.
Thanks, yes, sir. Talk to you later, Rob.
Take it easy.
Okay. We are going to roll our commercial, and then Bruce is going to try to fix his internet issues so that he's not lagging and sounding like he's got dial-up from 1992.
Oh, I think that's...
Peoria's playing tonight in the heart of Illinois. Fun is taking flight. Peoria's playing tonight. Now I can't shake Peoria off my mind. Peoria plays for life.
Is that better? Wow. So I guess
my girlfriend decided to yeet my camera in the middle of that. So
anyway, hey, but you know what though? You can yeet into the weekend, baby, because it's right around the corner, and there are plenty of things going on in Central Illinois to keep you and the family busy, whether you're just visiting or you call the heart of Illinois home. Discover Peoria, the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau have dropped us information about a few weekly discoveries you won't want to miss. Junction City Holiday Walk. Save the date, November 13th, for the annual Junction City Holiday Walk. This event is happening from 1 until 6 p.m. This holiday event will feature all the shops in Junction City along with other great vendors in the area. There will be multiple of different events happening throughout the day, including shopping activities, vendors, and a ho, ho, ho. Santa.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Bruce. Anyway, we have number 2, the Holiday Sip and Shop at 5 Points Washington. Join 5 Points Washington for the Holiday Sip and Shop event on Saturday, November 13th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Sip some festive cocktails, shop local favorites, and spread some holiday cheer. There will be 40-plus holiday craft and food vendors, a cash bar, and festive music.
Ooh, Illinois-made program winners. Central Illinois has had 4 local businesses be inducted into the Illinois-made program this year. The Nut House in downtown Peoria. Sorry, Nut House. Mackinac Valley Vineyard in Mackinac. Riley's Vegan Sweets and Treats in Peoria. Trev Zitzker's in Peoria Heights. Sorry, guys. In total, there are 28 businesses inducted in the 2021 Illinois Makers Program, and this year, more than half of the businesses represented are owned by women or people of color, which is awesome. The Illinois Made Program, launched in 2016, inspires residents and visitors to discover the people, products, and authentic experiences created by one-of-a-kind small businesses found in every region of the state. The newest class of makers is being announced just in time to highlight for consumers even more options to buy local products during this year's holiday shopping season. I suggest you guys visit the Nut House.
The Nut House.
Just saying. Hey, so
10 out of 10.
Obviously, Rob's awesome, and just so you know,
The man's too smart for us.
Oh, I mean, that's usually anybody that comes on, but
fair. Okay, so real quick, before we get too deep into anything.
Yes, sir.
I have a PSA for any national media. This is specifically national media. I don't know how much of the Packers game you watched on Sunday.
Here we go. But so actually I do too, so go ahead.
So I don't know how much of the Packers game you watched on Sunday. It appeared that Troy Aikman got a specific stipend to drag Jordan Love through the Kansas City dirt the entire game. And every article I saw that wasn't from a Green Bay source the next 2 days was just ripping Jordan Love. If you compare Jordan Love's stats from his first NFL game to almost any NFL quarterback ever that was legit, their first game was not good. You know why? Because the NFL is really hard. And your first game, it's really hard to keep up. Was Jordan Love bad? Yeah, you compare him to the reigning MVP and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time on Bruce's Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. Of course, he's going to look like crap. And he played like crap. You know who else played like crap? Patrick Mahomes. You know who else played like crap in their first NFL game? Patrick Mahomes. He had very similar stats on Sunday to his first NFL game. The Green Bay Packers lost. It really wasn't Jordan Love's fault. I blame Matt LaFleur. I blame the special teams. I blame a lot of people more than Jordan Love. Because, again, when you compare him to a reigning NFL MVP, that's a really tough sell. So the kid did his best.
Hall of Famer.
And I expect the criticism from Green Bay. I expect the criticism from Green Bay's fans, their media, because, again, we're comparing him to Aaron Rodgers. And I understand the comparison because it's who he might be replacing. And even I was watching the game, and I'm like, this is bad. But I expected that. I expected a lot of bumps in the road. But if you're going to sit there and drag him through the dirt, then I need you to drag Patrick Mahomes through the dirt for having an absolutely atrocious game. And, I give Jordan Love
broken right now. The Chiefs' offense is broken right now, and you don't hear anything about that in the national media.
Exactly. So I just wanted to get that out there. I have long since not liked the Joe Buck and Troy Aikman duo, but especially given the fact that it seemed like they were specifically paid to just go after the kid the entire game. I promise you, if they won that football game, they still would have gone after Jordan Love. In spite of Jordan Love's terrible performance and how awful he is in replacing the reigning NFL MVP, the Packers somehow find a way to win, even though Jordan Love sucked.
Fair enough. So real quick. There you go. You're back. My biggest thing that annoyed me about that game was how people are so pissed off at the Kansas City Chiefs for the seats that they gave Jordan Love's girlfriend but here's the thing though. And I didn't know this until I heard on ESPN 1000 on Carmen and Yurko. They explained it awesome, and they ended up telling, and I didn't know this, that it's not up to the visiting team squad to save seats it's the NFL.
Yeah, the Chiefs give out the tickets to the visiting teams.
Yeah, but so those reserved seats though for players, wives, families, whatever, those are actually you're right. It's the team that gives them out, but it's reserved from the NFL. So what amazes me though is people are getting pissed off at the Kansas City Chiefs for putting Jordan Love's family, his family up there. It wasn't the Chiefs' fault. Those are the seats that the NFL reserves for their respective opposing teams.
Even if it was the Chiefs, it's the opposing team.
Right.
Send them to the top of the stadium. I don't care.
Who gives a shit? By the way,
I would do that.
Real quick, before we jump on with our special guest, I want to real quick say, Justin, we'll talk about it after because we got to do the scores and stuff like that. I think Justin Fields looked fucking awesome this past Sunday. He looked like shit at first. I agree. Because guess what? You saw hitches. You saw the Matt Nagy offense. And all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like him just being like, holy shit, like whatever. But I think this was the best thing for the Bears, for them to lose and for Justin Fields to ball out. And I'll expand on that more after we introduce after I introduce our next guest. So obviously today is Veterans Day, and we wanted to give respect to the veterans that serve our great country, bust their ass, do great things. And our next guest hopefully will give us a little bit of a great story about his 21st, because it's actually a really great story. His 21st birthday, when I say that. But just thank you guys so much. Thank you. That's the reason why I'm rocking this right here. That's the reason why, thank you. So that being said, Marine veteran Deshaun Richard. Deshaun.
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
What up, dog?
How you doing?
Man, the pleasure is mine, guys. I've been waiting to get on this thing for quite a minute now.
Well, Deshaun, we're happy to have you. Especially today, it's an honor to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Bruce says you have a story for us.
Well, apparently you and I went to high school together, MJ. I don't know.
Bruce said the same thing. Sorry, dude, I got nothing.
Yeah.
This is what I do. I bring people together.
Listen, man, we in class of 15. I don't really remember anybody from my own class, so
it's okay. I was like 3 years after you, so we barely crossed paths. It's fine.
But I have the pleasure of working with Bruce at the high school. I do security. I frequently visit him at the help desk. I joined the Marine Corps straight out of high school. Like Bruce said, my 21st birthday, actually, I was spent in the middle of Africa, and I didn't even know it was my birthday until I was actually going to sleep. Some of the guys were like, hey, what day is it today? And they were like, oh, the 12th. And I was like, oh, crap, it's my birthday today. But, I was like sweating like all day, just drinking water, just not even thinking about what day it was. And it was my 21st birthday. So, I was like, oh.
How hot was it? How hot was it, though?
Got 128 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
128 degrees. Were you fully had all your shit on and everything too?
Yeah. Like seriously, full battle rattle, all that stuff, man. It was crazy time, but it was good.
That's awesome. So did you actually get a beer though, dude?
A beer?
Did you at least get a beer or anything? Was there any kind of 21st celebration to that or not?
Not that day. I tried to keep it on like the very, very lowest of down lows because I'm in the middle of the desert. I ain't no telling what the hell is gonna happen out there.
That's fair. That's fair,
I
man.
didn't honestly. I probably didn't get a beer probably for another like month after that until we picked up and moved on to our next little Liberty port, which was Abu Dhabi, which was so.
So, dude, you've seen a lot of shit, man. Like you've traveled so many places, you've done a lot of things. I gotta ask, dude. And like we've talked about this like bullshitting before, but what has been the most beautiful place that you went to, and you're like, damn, this is awesome,
Man, hands down, it would have to be Jerusalem. Like I was raised in the church growing up. Like my grandma would always pick me up, and we'd go to church 10:30 mass every Sunday. You know, St. Joe's right there on Dundee, and like I would always just hear so much about like Jerusalem, and like I was finally able to go, and I was like, wow, dude, like there's just so much just history and just so much just beautiful things that just go into the city itself, and there's a U.S. embassy there, and it's pretty cool actually.
it's awesome.
Love it. So, Deshaun, give us your fandom. Who are your teams, so that we can start going at you a little bit, because that's what we do.
You're not gonna like me because off the rip, I'm like a diehard Bears fan.
That's fine. I deal with Bruce every week for the last year and a half. I'm used to it.
That makes two of us. Bears, Cubs before they traded the whole team. Bulls, obviously, and I want to say the Blackhawks, but like right now they're not really sitting too good in the public eye. So
Yeah. We don't need it. We don't. Well, honestly, you know this, Deshaun. You're actually a frequent watcher of our show, dude. Like, you know damn well we don't talk hockey anyway. So,
gosh, especially at least not the Blackhawks right now. Anybody else would be all right.
Yeah.
fair. That's
Okay.
Hey, our producer's a huge Blackhawks fan.
Sorry.
Oh, that's rough.
Sorry.
That's rough.
He said
So,
sorry.
okay. Deshaun, I've listened to Bruce's irrational Bears takes for the last year and a half. So it's time to see how irrational you are. Let's just start off. What do you think of Justin Fields?
Dude, he's the truth. He's the future. He's as advertised. Granted, we'd have like literally like the second or third worst offensive line in the league, so you have to give him some credit. But he's as advertised. I was like so excited when the Bears moved up in the draft because I knew that they were picking Justin Fields. Like it was mind-boggling almost. But
So it was funny, Deshaun. When I covered the draft, and I sat there while the Bears moved up, and I'm sitting there. Bruce is doing his like live.
It was awesome. We
his
got
live
to pull that
show
video.
sitting
I
in
gotta
the.
find that.
Yeah, and I texted him because I heard the announcement like 15 seconds before the TV did.
right.
So I text Bruce, Bears are moving up. He starts freaking out. I'm like, they're not dumb enough. Are they going to draft a quarterback? They draft Justin Fields. And to this day, my opinion on Justin Fields is he was the most talented quarterback in the draft, hands down, no questions about it. And I still trust the Chicago Bears to ruin him.
Dude, never mind. Sorry.
I like
This is Sean's time. My bad. I was about to say.
I do somewhat see where you're coming from with that because our history for developing quarterbacks is like probably there's no history behind it. So let's just go with, like I think Justin Fields is set up pretty well now. Granted, we need to fix a couple things on the line. By the couple things, I mean all 5 positions.
Oh, let's not go that far, bro.
I would.
I think the only starter for any team or for out of any player that we have is like Cody Whitehair. He could probably start on most teams, but that's about it.
For him.
Okay.
Bruce says Fields is Nagy proof.
Fields is Nagy proof.
No. No
I
one is Matt Nagy proof.
I don't think Nagy can coach Justin Fields to the point where we need him to be.
No, I agree with that.
I definitely see the Bears moving on from Matt Nagy at the end of the season.
Hopefully, I don't know why they haven't already.
He had a couple good games so far.
They've never fired anyone.
Yeah, it's good. We went from Mark Trestman to Matt Nagy, so we're getting there.
Are you though?
Yes.
Although no, actually,
Yeah.
well, dude, here's a real fucked up thing that not a lot of people know, especially Bears fans too. So Mark Trestman's offense was actually better than Matt Nagy's offense,
I believe it.
which is sad. What are you drinking, by the way?
This is Crown Peach with cherry Coke.
Big ass.
Oh my
I
God.
love that. Hey, by the way, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So for a lot of people that don't know, the day before Veterans Day is, hey, you know what, Deshaun, please, you'll explain it way better than I would.
So the day before Veterans Day, I don't know if it was supposed to happen like this, but the day before Veterans Day is the Marine Corps birthday. The Marine Corps birthday is November 10th, 1775 is when the Marine Corps was formed. So that would be 200. My math is not off right now. 246 years of just Marine Corps history right there. So that was yesterday, and then Veterans Day is today. So had quite a few of these bad boys.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I love it.
Well, dude, hey, Deshaun, honestly, man, I cannot tell you how much I love and respect you, not only as a friend, but as a veteran of the Marines. You're awesome. I appreciate you, brother. We're gonna, everything that you do, I absolutely am proud of you. So thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, get the fuck out.
Hold on. I actually have a problem with you because you're also.
Oh no. Okay.
And hold on, let me just bring up an interesting statistic for you before I go. The Warriors have only played one team this year that's in the top 10 defensive rating.
They also have the second best defense.
They actually have the first. The Bulls have the third.
Oh.
We're still gonna win tomorrow. So, letting you know right now.
He says they're actually the best. Yeah.
Get ready. Honestly, the only way the Warriors win is if Steph Curry goes nuts.
Oh.
Mark my words.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay, Deshaun, I'm gonna go friend you on Facebook right now so we can talk back tomorrow.
Mark it.
I see how it is. Okay.
I love it.
Okay, I got you.
Good shit. Hey, man, thank you so much, dude. And honestly, dude, well, keep watching because now we're about to do our picks and stuff like that for this upcoming NFL week.
Yeah, so keep watching for some betting advice.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, thank you again, man.
All right, later, guys.
That was funny as hell.
Okay. Deshaun wants to talk smack. I see how it is.
He went at you right away. Like he
came prepared.
That was pretty good. I
respect it. He came prepared. I can work with that.
You gotta appreciate that. That. All right, man. Well, I was actually gonna go on a long ass rant. Actually, you know what? It'll be a short rant after the video of what Rich Clark said about the Chicago or not about the Bears, but about the officials this year with all their fucking calls about the what the hell's it called? Taunting. So real quick before, don't play it yet, Richie. So so there have been 27 taunting calls, 27 or 29. I can't remember the odd number, but almost close to 30 taunting calls called through what is it? How many weeks we in? 9 weeks, 10 weeks of the NFL season?
9.
Excuse me. Yeah, 9 weeks. Yes. So all of last year, the puppy's upset. All of last year, there was only 10. And I know it's an emphasis thing, but again, all right, Richie, let's hear some Ryan Clark action. I think I said Rich Clark, so I apologize because I was thinking about Richie. So, but let's hear what Ryan Clark has to say about this. It's awesome.
I think you can't make this call subjective. If there's going to be certain rules or certain things that are officiated in this, they need to be definitive. I need to know that I can't stare at people. I need to know that I can't flex my muscles. I need to know that what I've worked my entire life to do, the thing that I've stayed up from 5 in the morning till midnight every single night, the thing that I've gotten therapy and needles stuck from my neck to my ankles, the reason I've been in cold tubs and hot tubs every single morning, and the reason I've ran through film 80 million times was so I can make that one play. And you mean to tell me on that one play, I got to calm all that down that went into this because somebody who can't do what I do, who ain't never done what I done, and don't know what this feeling is like, gets offended by it? Man, I wish I freaking would. It's a good word.
Man, I wish I freaking would too.
Can't say it any better than that.
I loved it. First of all, officials, shut the fuck up. All right? Don't call stupid penalties. There's no reason why Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to use that as an example. Aaron Rodgers completely disrespecting the Chicago Bears and their fans by saying, I own you, doesn't get called for a penalty. But
Yeah.
having
I was shocked in the moment that it didn't.
Having a guy posturing, he stood up. And not only that, by the way, real quick, Cassius Marsh, the fact that he did this badass, like, Cobra Kai karate kick type thing, that was amazing. Anyway.
Impressive flexibility, yeah.
Right. But anyway, changes need to be made. Changes should happen. A ref should never, dictate what happens in a game, especially at the end of the game. Let the players decide the outcome, not you. It's not about you. It's about the players. Shut the fuck up. All right, let's go. Picks.
Let's roll it.
Hey, TikTok that, baby.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what do we got here? Baltimore, Miami. Baltimore,
Without looking at what's happened,
same.
Baltimore easy.
I'm gonna go Baltimore wins. I think. By the way, we sucked last week. Baltimore wins. I'm gonna go Baltimore wins. Dolphins cover.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Next game.
Oh, that's a big line for somebody who just beat the Buffalo Bills. Wow.
Colts win. Colts cover.
Colts win. Jags cover. That's a big line.
We really need to start
Richie.
He's not going to totally do.
On fourth today, it is your job to keep track of these.
On fourth.
On fourth today.
Fourth, good.
Declared on November the 11th, 2021.
He just was
You don't
like,
care.
he was like, F you. What is that? All right,
Now he's just screwing with us. Okay, Cleveland. I'm going to take Cleveland to win and cover.
It's in Foxborough.
They don't have a single running back.
I got.
Oh, wait. By the way, you know who's probably going to be on their active roster Sunday?
Who?
Our boy Dexter Williams.
Oh, Dexter!
He got signed this week because Chubb, Hunt, and somebody else are all out.
Chubb, Hunt. God, what was the other guy's name?
I don't know. All they have is Dearness Johnson. But you know, when you don't have a Chubb, Dexter's your guy.
Fair. Apparently, you're the wifey over there liked it. Chubb. All right. I'm gonna go Patriots win and cover because I don't think the Browns can do it. However, I do wish Dexter does very well this Sunday. Dexter, hey, jump on with us. I would love to talk to you about that game, man. All right. We got ATL in the ATL. The Cowboys. How about the Cowboys getting what was that? How about the Cowboys just getting
Demetric Felton is the other guy.
Thank you. All right. How about the Cowboys getting rolled by the Broncos, by the way?
And they're gonna get rolled again.
Think so. Dude,
Atlanta wins and cover.
Atlanta's actually surprised me like crazy.
Matty Ice was the NFC Player of the Week.
Matty Ice, dude, making a freaking play, dude.
Matty Ice, rushing touchdown from Matty Ice.
I'll say Cowboys win. Cowboys win, Falcons cover.
Okay.
A lot of chalks this week, I think.
Buffalo wins, Jets cover.
Buffalo wins, Buffalo covers.
Tennessee wins
for whom the bell tolls.
Tennessee wins and covers.
All right, what we got here? Tennessee. Oh, wait. Are you sure it's minus? All right, Richie. Is it really -2.5?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
I looked earlier.
Dude, Tennessee wins, Tennessee covers. And I would smash the
Saints
cover.
are good.
I would venture to say Titans by 7. I'll say 5.5. I'll go 5.5. Titans by 5.5.
Wow. Okay.
All right, next one.
That's definitely there's so many things wrong with that one,
gold.
Richie.
This is gold, please. Like
Tampa Bay versus Miami, and Washington is favored by 9.5. I really like that one.
Oh, please show yourself on that one, Richie.
Please,
Hey, let's talk about it.
Richie,
Oh, here he is.
Richie,
We
how
need
you
to talk about that
doing? How
one.
you doing? How do you feel?
Oh man.
Okay, so apparently we
It-
need a
it was-
producer and an executive producer
Right.
to check our producer.
So Tampa Bay. There it is. There it is.
Still wrong.
Is it 9.5?
You really
What
think
you mean?
Washington's favored by 9.5?
No, hold on a minute.
Wait, hold on. Go back to your.
Oh
go
wait.
back-
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
he
You're
is
In
right.
right.
what world
Yeah, you're right.
are the
you're right.
Washington football team
we- we've
favored
gone off the
by
rails.
9.5
I had
against?
a long day.
We have
I've
gone
had a
off
long
the rails.
Okay, so it's fine. We'll move on. Tampa wins and covers.
Tampa wins,
We'll just
covers.
move on.
Yeah, yeah.
Pittsburgh wins and
Got
covers.
Yeah, Pitt wins covers. Oh, by the way, real quick, Ben Roethlisberger still sucks. Go ahead.
Thank you. Chargers winning cover.
That's in.
Also, give me the over on this game. Nobody's playing no defense here.
Yeah, truth. Good call. All right. Yeah, I like that too. Same.
Arizona. This would be a different game if it was next week. Cam Newton will not play.
Cam Newton,
So-
baby. All right.
Cam Newton,
so-
Superman, back in Carolina, but Arizona wins. They do not cover, and the over hits.
Sorry. All right. There it is. Yeah, let's go. I got Cardinals winning. Cardinals cover. Ooh. All right, I'll go
Listen.
first
Yeah, go first.
because I know you're gonna ramble on this one. Okay, so. Ooh. Okay, so is this? I think this is still a question mark right now because of Aaron Rodgers not knowing if he's going to be cleared from COVID restrictions, I guess, or protocol. I'll be quick about this. It's in Green Bay. Green Bay, honestly, they're the most functional, dysfunctional, good team in the NFL. So I'm going to say Packers win and they cover regardless of who starts at quarterback.
Wow. So Russell Wilson will be back. He made a 1-minute documentary about his thumb injury, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Don't hate on him.
Easiest thing I've ever seen. Middle finger, whatever it was, I don't care. He can get Bruce's middle finger. There you go.
Why is it going to be mine? I was flicking you off. I was showing you what you hurt.
Oh, okay, whatever. Russell Wilson is 0-4 in his career at Lambeau Field, losing by an average double-digit margin.
Supposed
So-
to snow, isn't it?
What's up?
Isn't it supposed to snow too?
It is supposed to snow.
Let's go.
So
I love
Russell
honestly,
Wilson is going to get a snowy Lambeau Field.
I fucking
He is
love-
going to get Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is going to get cleared.
Is this breaking? Is this
Saturday.
breaking? Is MJ breaking this here? Is it? Did
Oh.
he has he heard something?
No, not enough to make a declaration.
Of independence?
What? No. From everything I have heard, gathered, put together, my inclination is that he will play. I would be very surprised at this point if he doesn't play. They've literally been walking him around the facility with Nathaniel Hackett on FaceTime with him on his iPhone and in Hackett's pocket so that Rodgers hears everything and is able to do everything. I honestly think that if there was any concern whatsoever about Rodgers' health, his ability to go, they're 7-2. They have a 4-game lead in the division. The NFC North sucks very massive booty cheeks, and they would just let Jordan Love start and not worry about it.
Pick.
So, Packers win and cover. Easy.
So-
I'll give them a -7.
Just so you
And they
know, Just so you know, real quick, I don't suck on booty cheeks. I slap them. Next game.
Heard.
Philly and Denver. Philly and Denver. All right, so this is a shit bowl. Although Denver's playing pretty decently this year, but right now. But I'm gonna go Denver wins. Denver covers.
Warren knows. Fair.
True. Wow, everyone's like lighting that up, huh?
Yeah, apparently. Denver wins and covers. Las Vegas wins and covers. Book it.
No way in hell. I actually think this is the game that is a coming out party. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna have mark it. Fucked up predictions by Coach Bruce. Okay. Chiefs win. Chiefs cover. Chiefs put a beat down on the Raiders because I fucking hate the Raiders. So that's it.
We know.
The Raiders go down. Bye. Chiefs win. Chiefs cover. Chiefs win and by 2 touchdowns.
Rams win and cover. I don't know how this is only -4. Can we just talk about how much of a fraud Kyle Shanahan is real quick?
Please.
Niners have had 1 winning season since 2015, I think.
And it was the playoffs. They went to the playoffs. And
They went to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And they got smacked. So,
All right, real quick.
I don't care.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Jimmy, I send you messages. I say, hey, man, I coached you. Help us out a little bit. Say hi on here. Just like hey, how's it going? Totally okay with it. Jump on, bro. It's the reason why you guys suck. Oh, I don't. That's fine. You agree with MJ. That's cool.
Mahomes did admit today that he needs to be willing to take some check downs. And
But real quick, we're not talking about
calm
that.
himself.
We're not talking about that game. We're talking about the Rams 49ers. Rams win. Rams cover. Rams blow them out.
I'll give Rams 10 on this.
Dude, how
This
about
is not a
OBJ
close
going
game.
to the? How about OBJ going to the Rams? I think the Rams are like the Rams are just like fuck it. I'm gonna throw money at everybody and say let's see what happens.
I have a real quick story time. So I'm still a college student, right? So I was in class today. I had class from 1:30 to 2:45. In that class, it's my sports communication capstone class because I'm in my final semester here. And we are in the middle of doing a project for a business in California that is actually a fairly big project. So I'm in the middle of my entire class presenting, talking with this guy, and my phone starts blowing up. I'm hearing from Rams people and from Packers people that they both thought they had OBJ. Both.
I actually heard right away. I heard right away that it was Rams at like 1:30.
Yes, but what I'm saying, so Schefter heard Rams first and jumped on it. I heard Packers first. Packers thought they had Odell. And then after there were conflicting reports, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, pretty much everyone in LA jumped on the phone and called Odell and said, pick LA. So basically, once it came down to those two teams, LA immediately sold themselves. So I don't want to turn this into some rant about the Packers. All I have to say, Aaron Rodgers wasn't wrong. Green Bay is not a vacation destination.
So can I tell you what I heard?
Yeah.
I heard that
from where?
I heard that's not like relevant right now. It's actually a pretty credible person. So from what I heard, the Green Bay Packers offered Odell Beckham the vet minimum.
Yeah.
Just to put it out there that they offered him the vet minimum. And I don't blame dude for being like, fuck you. So I also heard that it was their way of being like, look, Aaron, we did this for you. We tried.
Financially, they couldn't afford more.
Right. Okay. So I don't know. I think he's gonna Aaron's gone at the end of this year.
I don't want him back, so I don't care.
which is actually, oh God, I wish we had a longer time frame because I'm curious to know. So you're going to put your future in Jordan Love right now.
Yes.
That's interesting. Okay.
The first year of Aaron Rodgers, the Packers went 6-10. Next year, they went to the wild card. Year after that, they went to the Super Bowl. I'm putting my future in Jordan Love's hands next year, assuming we will suck.
I think you're going to suck for a long time, though.
No.
I don't think Jordan Love's very good. But
have you done film study on him and compared him to other quarterbacks of his type?
Not to the extent that I would like to, but I've done a little bit. So
have you looked at any of his film from college?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that being said, though,
then you haven't.
So
if you haven't watched, like I've legitimately watched all of it. And everything that there is from Green Bay. And I'm telling you,
I'm loving the
he
Homer
looks
right now.
exactly. No, I'm telling. This is from an unbiased perspective. Don't, like I told you, he sucked the other day. I would tell you if he sucked. I'm telling you, I've watched everything there is to watch on Jordan Love, and I've compared it to the first few years of Aaron Rodgers. My heart rate's fine. I'm mad because you're being dumb.
How am I? Oh, relax. See, that's not professional. What I would say, though, is
when are we professional?
You could do the exact same thing with like Mitchell Trubisky and be like, let's compare Mitchell Trubisky's first year stats and blah, blah, blah.
I'm not talking about stats.
I would love to see what happens.
When did I say stats?
It'll be interesting.
Hey, no. When did I say stats?
Comparatively to what you just said, if you compare the first game stuff,
yeah,
go on from there. So it'll be interesting.
Saying don't overreact. The Packers sucked the first few years with Rodgers.
Cut that. Clip that. Don't overreact, please, Richie.
Yeah, I'm saying don't overreact.
Right.
I'm a fan, so if they suck next year, I'll be upset, but I will understand, and I will put it in context. I will always put it in context. I'm a Packers fan. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm not a Jordan Love fan. I know that the winning formula in the NFL right now, the majority of the time, is having a quarterback on a rookie deal. That's the way you win. Packers are going to have a lot of holes next offseason, a lot of holes they can't fill if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And that's going to be the way it is for years.
So I got a guy that wants to talk to you about. I got a text from him. I got a guy that wants to talk to you about this too, and you already know who it is. But in any case, though, you're so upset. I can see it. I still love you, though.
I'm not upset. I'm just giving you facts.
Oh God, no, you're not.
The way Jordan Love has played, the way he comps.
Hypothetical, though. Like you're just hoping that he does well. That's what it is. Believe me, I'm a Bears fan. I've been there.
Well, yeah, of course I'm going to hope he does well. But I'm saying based off of what I've seen, he'll suck for a few years and he'll progressively get better in the Packers offensive system. That's all I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I think based off of what I've seen from studying literally every throw Jordan Love has made from the time he entered college to today, he compares to Aaron Rodgers' progression.
I would love to sit down with you and we should actually do a film study just out of curiosity because I would love to do a film study with you because I've done it and I'm curious to see what your version of a film study is. So we got to organize that.
I look at all the angles of the film, look at Jordan Love, look at the play, look at the receivers, look at the offensive line, look at what he does with his footwork, his arm, his release.
I don't need an explanation. I'm just saying.
I know you don't believe me. I know you don't believe me.
That is not at all what I said.
That's exactly what it is.
Now you're assuming, and it makes
that's exactly what it is.
Now you're assuming, and that makes an ass out of you.
And you.
No. But no, honestly, this is the reason why we've been able. This is the reason why it's fun with you because I love being able to bark with you and know that.
Shut up, Richie.
Even if you call me stupid, it's okay.
You are a little bit stupid sometimes. It's fine.
It's okay. I'm not a Packers fan, nor am I a Warriors fan. I'm not a bandwagon jumper. And with that,
2005, sir. Where My dad is from Central California. I'm also an A's fan.
Hey, MJ. Great job today.